You're watching Lose, Live, Learn, the show which brings you real life strategies to help you live your healthiest life, free from guilt, shame and dieting. I'm your host, Melanie Knights. So if you're watching this video in real time, I am super excited because this week on Wednesday, September the 13th, I am opening up enrollment for my 6-week lifestyle transformation program, Life by Design. This program has been a project of mine for, I guess, 2 years. I just didn't know about it until this year. And the reason it's been this long drawn out project is because I found myself going through the process of designing my life. Because from the age of 18 up until, I guess, 27, 28, for almost a decade, I had no idea what I was trying to achieve. I was very good at the jobs I did, but I didn't enjoy them. And I just knew there was something more out there. I wanted something more. And so in 2012, when I invested in a coach myself, so I had a personal trainer, and I was like, this is awesome. I love this. I want to do this. I had no idea how cutthroat it was or how tough an industry it was to get into. I was very clueless to that because I'd never had any interest in health and fitness. So it was beyond, it was never something I wanted to do. It was certainly never in my dreams was I going to be a personal trainer or a coach. And in 2015, I was going through some really, really tough stuff. I had just returned to work after a year of maternity leave with Grayson. It was really stressful leaving him in the care of others. It was really stressful going back to a job that I didn't really enjoy. Especially when before I'd had him, I'd had these big ideas. I was gonna build a business in my year off because, being a mum isn't that hard. But we also found, first year of being parents, really tough. Grayson was getting sick all the time. I was getting sick. Matt was getting sick. We were all sleep deprived. It was just a really messy year. And it really tested our relationship as parents. It tested our relationship as husband and wife. And, we came out of it. But I'm sure you'll all agree, if any of you have been through anything that feels really, really scary in the moment, there's that time where you're like, is this ever going to end? You sit there and you're in the midst of this mess and you're thinking, it feels like it won't ever end. The pain feels like it's always going to be here, and it feels very, very uncomfortable. And that was really the start of something for me. That May of 2015, I'd already made the decision. I was going to Manchester, and right around that time, my husband got sick and Grayson was still a bit sick, and I went anyway. And I'd spent a lot of money on going, so it didn't even really occur to me to not go. But on reflection, I could see that many people would probably feel judgment at me about the fact that I left my family when they probably needed me. But if I had not gone on that trip, I would not be doing the things I'm doing right now. That was the start of designing my life. I left that weekend to go to Manchester. It was the first thing I really felt like I had done for myself in a really long time. I didn't really feel like I'd done that, I guess, since I had a personal trainer, which was 3 years previously. So I just didn't feel like I'd done something for myself, gone away. That first year of motherhood, I really felt like I lost a part of myself. I was like, I didn't expect it to happen, yet I still found myself kind of walking around and I'm just a mother. I don't know. And that doesn't mean that being a mother isn't good, but it was where am I in all of this? Who am I? And so I made the decision. I left. I went to Manchester for the weekend, and over that weekend I spoke to Jill Coleman, and I was so scared, nervous as hell to talk to her, because I was sitting in this room of fitness professionals and I had complete imposter syndrome, right? I'm like, who the hell am I to be sitting with these amazing people Because at the time I wasn't training, I wasn't teaching classes, I wasn't doing any capacity of personal training. I just was like trying to be around people that were, I guess in the hope almost that it would rub off on me. I don't know what I expected, but in a way it did. I listened to Jill talk, and it was a really short presentation, but in that moment I was like, this woman's amazing. I need more of her, more of this. Okay, like, what can I do? And I spoke to her, and that was kind of the start of me deciding that if I was going to change my life, if I was going to design a life that I really wanted to show up in, and was going to wake up every morning and be like, yes, I love this job, work with the people that I could only dream about working with at that time, I knew that coaching was going to be this solution, and it never occurred to me. And I spoke to her, she told me about her coaching program, and I kind of left that weekend. I went home, I googled it, I went to her website, I found the page. I think the price was on there, and I was like looking at it thinking, shit. Because like, it wasn't a small investment. I had never invested that kind of money in anything. Maybe our wedding, but like certainly nothing that was just for me. And I was like, holy crap. Okay. But there was like a burning desire and passion inside of me that this is what I have to do, and this is going to transform my life. And so that was it, right? And, you know, I got accepted onto Best of You. I started Best of You in January 2016. This year, I became a JillFit ambassador. And it has opened up so many doors for me. Designing the life that I feel so excited to wake up every single day. I have been able to put my health into this place of priority without it overwhelming me, right? So I am able to eat foods that fuel me, and I'm able to moderate, and I'm able to, you know, make really great choices every single day. I no longer feel the need to binge. I no longer feel like I'm struggling with my food. I no longer struggle with my body image. And this is because I took action in certain ways to create a lifestyle, to design a life that allowed me to do all these things and be all these people and do it without feeling confused and overwhelmed. I have read more self-help books in the last 2 years than I ever thought was possible, and I'm a slow reader, so, you know, right now I think I'm reading like 2 or 3 self-help books. I don't like calling them self-help books because I think people have a real stigma around that. I like to call them I'm not perfect, so I need all the help I can get books. But these books, you know, I've read blogs, I've watched videos, I've listened to podcasts. I have really, at this point, 2 years later, dialed in on the women who support me, empower me, are doing things that I want to be doing. I am no longer kind of following everyone in the hope that something sticks. Like, I realize that it's blinkers on, eyes on the paper, get on with my own life. I think what I'm most proud of, I'm most happy about, is that when I started to design a life that I wanted, I realized how much work it was going to be, but I loved it. Like, every single month, I was so excited to dig into new topics and new content and practice and ask questions. And that was something I had never done before. I was always the girl who was afraid to ask a question. I didn't want to show up. I was so scared of, you know, it being a silly question or being the wrong thing. And in the last 2 years, I've not been afraid to ask, because what I realized was that easy is earned, and for me to live the life that I want, I have to ask for help in the right places. I have to ask for help from my parents. I have to ask help from my husband. You know, asking for help is not like, it's not shameful. It's, you know, it builds trust, and it also shows that you're willing to learn. And I think that was something I was so afraid to do. I was so afraid to learn. I was so afraid to realize how much work something would take. And now I'm in this position where I can't imagine not knowing these women. I can't imagine not having a coach, because coaches need coaches. Everyone, you know, everyone I work with and surround by has a coach, and we read and we absorb, and we are willing to not only put our health as a priority, but make ourselves a priority and take care of ourselves. And, you know, this is kind of where Life by Design came from. I designed my life. I designed a life that is still not perfect, and it will never be perfect, but it's beautiful, and it's messy, and it's mine, and I love it. And I feel like there are so many things I wish I'd known, right? We have that, don't we? We like, oh, I wish I'd known this when I was, when I was 18. I wish I'd known this when I was 20, or whatever it might be. But even though I wish I'd known some of these things earlier, I have no regrets. And that's the one thing that I want to live my life without regrets. And so for me to have a regret would mean that I've made a bad decision, and I don't see any decision I make as bad. There are some decisions where I go, okay, this is going to test me. And it's like you come out of and you're like, okay, well, I coped with that. I dealt with it. It wasn't the worst decision I ever made, but let's not do it again, right? You learn, right? They are learning opportunities. And if we don't learn from things, we always told as kids, you learn from your mistakes, right? If we don't learn from these things, we don't develop, we don't make progress in our lives. And I know that I spent so much of my time just existing, feeling like my health was stressful, that my health was a mess, that I had no idea what I wanted out of life. I had no hobbies, no passion. Now I'm proud of what I've got in my life. I'm proud of what I've achieved. It's not perfect. It's still messy, but it's mine. When people ask me, what I do or what I'm interested in, I have answers, and that was something I never had. And I'm kind of clear on who I am, and my health is a priority, and I'm able to manage that every day without it feeling stressful. And what I realized this year is that I want more women to feel that way if they want to. Why wouldn't you, right? Why wouldn't you want to feel like your health is a priority, and that you're taking care of yourself and others, and that you still have time for your hobbies and your interests, and you're not walking around going, oh my God, I wish I had more time, or oh, I can't get that workout in because I need to do X, Y, or Z, right? I think that's where most of us live. And I realized that I was like, I need to help these women. I need to make impact in their lives so that they realize too that they can, they can be the wife, the mother, the daughter, the co-worker, the boss. They can be the entrepreneur if they want. They can run marathons. They can lose weight. They can gain muscle. They can enter powerlifting meets. They can do whatever they want, whatever their heart desires. They can do that. But what they need to understand is that they are standing in their own way. They need to understand that, you need to understand that we are told as children, and you probably heard the same thing, dream big. And then you get older, and when people start to realize that your dreams are very big, but be realistic, or it's like, dream big, well, you can't do that. Like, who do you think you are, right? And we absorb that, we take that on. And let me tell you, there have been naysayers. There are still people who, when I go, I don't like, to an optician's appointment or something, or go to the doctors, and they ask you, what do you do for a living? And you tell them, and they're like, what? Because I don't say personal trainer. That's not my job. That's such a small part of my job. And I tell them what I do for a living, and they look a bit confused, and some of them ask me what it means, and I tell them, and it makes people uncomfortable, and that's not my story. Like, that's not my problem. It doesn't make me uncomfortable to tell people what I do, because I am helping women every single day. I am helping women with these videos. I'm helping women with the blogs I write, the emails I send. You know, in my free group, every single day I'm helping women, I'm impacting their lives in a positive way, and I want to help you design the life that you want. And I realized that I could do that through strategies and tips that I have learned over the last 2 years on my own personal development journey. I've been able to dial in on my passions, find a purpose, find time for myself. I've been able to strengthen my relationships, my romantic relationship with my husband. That made it sound way too much information. I've been able to be not only to be able to spend time with my son, but I'm actually present because, you know, I spent time with him prior to this, but I wasn't really present. I was there, my brain was somewhere else. And I'm now in this place where I'm like, you know, everything I want in life is 100% achievable. The only thing that's going to stop me from achieving is myself. It will be my belief system, something that I already believe about the world. But, you know, I have broken through so many of those barriers that I'm like, just nothing's going to stop me now. And if you are walking around and like, I wish I had more time. I wish I had time to do the things I love. I wish I could be more present with my family. I wish my health was a priority. I wish I didn't constantly feel like I was battling my confidence and my body image. If you're walking around thinking, I want more, but people tell me I should be satisfied, I want you to know that you don't have to be satisfied and you can have more. And that's not self-indulgent. You're allowed to, it's your right. And if that is you, I extend this invitation to you. Come over and find out about Life by Design. Make sure that you keep your eyes peeled for this Wednesday, September the 13th. All the details will be going live on Wednesday on my Facebook page. I'll put my link to my Facebook page just here. You can also jump on my email list. I'll give you the details now so you can jump on and be getting information straight to your inbox on Wednesday morning. This program is only opening up for 3 days. So the program closes on Friday and we get started on Monday the 18th. This program is going to allow you to make your health a priority, make your passion and purpose in life more of in the forefront of your mind. You're going to be able to spend time on it. Instead of feeling like you're all over the place and getting nothing done, you're going to actually be able to manage your time, create time for the things you want, and get shit done. You're going to be able to take care of yourself. You're going to declutter both your mental and physical space. You're going to improve your relationship that you have with your body and food. You are going to leave at the end of these 6 weeks feeling more in control of your life than you have done for the last 6 years. You are going to transform the way you perceive both yourself, your body, and your lifestyle. Now, these are big promises and I get that, but I can only make these promises because I have lived through it. I have been there, I have done it, and I am so excited to start working with you next Monday. September the 18th is when we get started. I'm so excited for the next 6 weeks to be a coach and a mentor and a friend to these women, like-minded women coming together. It's like something amazing. It's so magical, and I just know that there's going to be friendships forming every single day. It's going to be so much fun. I cannot wait. So thank you very much for being here. Thank you for taking the time to show up, be present, and I am so excited for this week, and I will see you next week for another episode of Lose, Live, Learn.